Christmas is coming. Want to start a new family holiday tradition or make sure that you have something to do at all the family and friend gatherings that you'll be attending a ton of in the next week or two? Let me give you an idea, especially if you grew up playing video games. What I loved to do as a kid with my brother and sister was play the snow level in Nintendo64 video games. I'll be talking about these 4 games right here. And mind you, I grew up during the golden age of Nintendo 64. I played these games 15 or 20 years ago, so man, I'm an old fart. I watched playthroughs of Nintendo 64 games I played as a kid to relive my childhood and the childhood of those that grew up during the 90s and played these games too. If you were born in the 2000s, this is probably going to be more of a geeky insight for you, but if you love video games, it should be fun. This is a deviation from my standard style, food and travel videos, but I want this channel to be a true reflection of who I am, and video games shaped my life humongously as a child. And they do now, but in a different way. Oh, and I just want to say that I'm going to be inserting clips from playthroughs that game channels have already uploaded into my video just to bring the examples that I'm talking about more to life for you. All the video clips that I'm using, I'm going to be crediting, of course, in the description. Check out those channels if you want to watch more thorough playthroughs than the tiny snippets that I'm showing. Let's go down the list and talk about these snow levels, what I loved, what I thought was weird, and all that good stuff. Let's start with Super Mario 64.
It's me, Mario!
If you don't know what Super Mario 64 is, it was the first game that released on the Nintendo 64 platform. And where were you if you didn't play this in the 90s? And now that I think about it, one of the first video games that I owned. And I'm sure many of you could relate with it being your first game. When I think of snow levels from Super Mario 64, I think of Cool Cool Mountain and Snowman's Land. Some of my favorite missions or tasks from Cool Cool Mountain was racing the penguin down a slippery snowboarding course. The penguin just straight up slid down the slippery course on its belly. I bet it had ice burn afterwards. And the goal was to beat the penguin. I feel like sometimes you would just get too excited and anxious that you just slid off the course. I slid off a billion times. And then there was the second mission of finding baby penguins. It was kind of like a treasure hunt. Instead of finding gold though, you had to find baby penguins and return them back to their mommy penguin. Penguins are so adorable, so that was a really fun mission. One aspect that I found very annoying about this level was the lifts that you had to take to go higher up the mountain. I feel like I would accidentally do a side jump to my doom into the abyss because I was trying to jump on the lift before I got to the bottom. I don't know, I think I was impatient. But I feel like you could approach those lifts in different ways. You know, if you're actually patient, just wait for it at the bottom instead of, you know, just killing yourself and then having to restart again. I guess as a kid, like, you wanted to inadvertently speed run through levels, so that's what happens sometimes, you jump to your doom. I think Cool Cool Mountain is very special to me because I remember it pretty distinctly as a level that I played as a kid when I was trying to play the snow levels from different games as a kind of Christmas tradition. The second snow level was Snowman's Land. This whole level centered around a giant snowman, but I remember doing just really random things in this level and appreciating kind of the unique aspects. I think I had way too much fun vaulting off the top of these flower helicopter spinning bad guys that were just kind of walking around the ice. You just have to do the helicopter spin to finish some activities. I don't know, those dudes were just really fun to jump off of. And I thought what was really cool that Nintendo did in this game and in these levels specifically was kind of have you use more of your senses and kind of see through optical illusions to get through courses. There was this icy jungle gym that you had to just walk around, feel out the 3D space to see where you could jump or where you could crawl underneath to get one of the stars. And then later in the level, there's an indoor, more intense version of that icy jungle gym where there are enemies they have to dodge and you kind of have to jump and navigate more around icy mirrors that reflect or that look see-through but you can't actually walk through. This level really made use of how you think about ice and what it looks like and how you could use that in a level and be creative. And finally, it was super fun to jump on a shell and snowboard around the level to get the red coins. I just really find it therapeutic to either fly in the game or to use another mode of transportation besides just running around. The controls are just so smooth and it's just kind of relaxing to steer. And honestly, bonus, when you're doing the snowboarding, there's the flying cat music. I feel like that is such iconic Mario music. It really just makes you think that you're in the air flying and you can do anything. I can get into analytical and deep thinking mode when it comes to games. But Super Mario 64, if you haven't played it yet, go play it. If you have played it before, play it again. I'm going to find it and play it again. Now we're going to get into Yoshi's Story.
Nintendo!
Yoshi's Story is one of a kind, and to me it's the epitome of cuteness. I'm obsessed with the level art and backdrops. The level I'm going to be chatting about for Yoshi's Story is Poochy and Nippy, and the art is indescribable. It's just so cute. The mountains are rounded, snow-capped, there were pillow clouds in the sky, and there are glowing stars. I think the glowing stars are honestly my favorite. You know how much I love stars. Getting onto the Poochy and Nippy level, there was just so much happening. First up was always having to be on guard because the Snow Shy Guys would be running around trying to find an opening to hurl snowballs at you and take you out of commission. You had to kind of go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, go back and forth. And because they were more in the background of the level, you could never hit them. So it was just a really fun element to the level, having to avoid a snowball frenzy. Those Snow Shy Guys took it very seriously. The seagulls really pissed me off in this level. They would fly around and try to drop a bomb on your head, and to me, at least, it sounded like they were screaming "aho" at you all the time. Aho, aho, aho. But even then, the Shy Guys had a one-up on them. There were these homing, bombing Shy Guys that instead of just trying to drop the bombs near you, they would actually target you and try to fly into you to drop the bomb on you. So they were more sneaky and strategic about it. They were very deliberate and it was very scary. Besides the art, I really love the accordion kind of festival music that was playing in the background of this level. Yoshi's Story in general had amazing music, but I think this piece was one of my favorites. And another cool thing about this level is that you could play it in so many different ways, because at the end of an area there would be a fork in the road, and so you'd have to choose to go to pot A or pot B, and that would dictate the next area you went to, and it would be different depending on what you chose. Different enemies, a different landscape, different obstacles. So that was a really cool aspect. Not only was Yoshi's Story so cute, but the art and the gameplay, makes me just want to be a kid again. And there is another snow level, Frustration, but I'll leave that for another video game chat with you guys if you're enjoying this. Comment below if you'd like to hear about that in a future video. I'm honestly just having a blast kind of talking to myself in a way about how much I love video games. Now I'm going to be getting into the more obscure Nintendo 64 games I played. Snowboard Kids was like Mario Kart except with comic book-like characters and with snowboards. You could do tricks, and you could use items to inhibit or disadvantage other players. It was a super easy game, but it was very therapeutic and, again, very cute. The most Christmassy level, if I were to pick a snow level, and I mean, keep in mind that the entire game takes place on a mountain, so most of the levels are snow levels, but there was one level that was Christmas themed in particular, and it was Jingle Town. So first up, the music is a jam. It is very jolly, and it sounds like it would fit in an instrumental Christmas soundtrack. But it also gets you going, so you're revved up to snowboard down the hill and overcome all the obstacles and do some cool tricks. My favorite part of this level was hurtling through a kind of Christmassy village. The little homes had lights, they were covered with snow, there were candy canes, wreaths. I mean, the whole 9 yards. I just thought it was a cool concept to snowboard through a sleepy little Christmas village town, and you cross this really pretty bridge with candy cane poles that have stars on them. You just kind of want to get used to me talking about stars, because at any opportunity I'm probably going to be talking about how much I love stars. But this level was so diverse. You would be going through that sleepy village, and then you would be snowboarding into a cave and then leaping off a really high ledge where you could do a lot of complex tricks and then see the northern lights in the distance. There was just so much happening, and besides the northern light details, I'd say my favorite obstacles were the little rabbits with kind of evil looking red eyes jumping, and you had to avoid hitting them or you would trip, so be careful of the devil rabbits. There was a snowman boss in the second part of this level, and honestly it was a little bit difficult. The snowman would be trying to do you in by trying to turn you into an ice cube, by shooting these kind of icicle bombs at you, and you would have to try to throw items at it as well. And this happened when you got close to it, so it was a little bit tricky to maneuver and time your attacks well. And if you did overtake it, you'd have to watch your back, because then it would be trying to attack you in your blind spot. So yeah, in general, an easy game, but the boss fight was pretty challenging, but you're really in the zone the entire fight. All in all, this level had little Christmas and snowy elements. I have a soft spot for Snowboard Kids. Because it was an easy game, it was very calming and relaxing to play. And now we're on to the last and most obscure game I'm going to be talking about, and it's Mystical Ninja Starring Goemon.
Going now.
I feel like this is a game that not many people knew about or played. I played it over and over again with my sister. It is one of my favorites, and arguably this game has one of the best soundtracks in gaming history. And so Goemon takes place in feudal Japan, and many of the villages, landmarks, and areas in the game are actually real places in Japan. And so there were two kind of snow level or snow focused areas. First one was Festival Village, so this is a village that's in between levels where you can rest up, buy items, and learn more about your next destination and where you need to go. I love walking around this village because I love the music so much. Like if I was living in a Japanese village, this is the music that I'd want to play as I walked around the village, getting things done, meeting people. The music is just so calming and healing, with the shamisen just kind of softly reverberating back and forth. It almost feels like a lullaby. And because it's a snowy village and town, the snowflakes are kind of just dancing and fluttering, and it really just adds to the evening, snowy imagery of the entire scene. A lot of the walls in the village had a red and white stripe, adding to kind of the festiveness, but against the music it was just a quiet, lovely little tranquil moment. So when you exit Festival Village, you have to go through Mutsu to be able to climb Mount Fear. I know I'm focusing a lot on the music, but the music when you're navigating the snowy, rugged terrain is in this careful and anxious tone, and the shamisen just kind of rolls frantically back and forth. It just fits the whole scene well. You kind of see these ghostly scrolls go in and out of visibility. It makes for this tense atmosphere, but it just kind of helps build up the upcoming challenges that you'll be facing on the mountain and get to this mysterious lady that will help you with your next destination. And I really do think that video games can be considered works of art just because of how wonderfully the scene came together. I'll end it here. I have so many other games that I'd love to talk about, but that would be a 20-hour video. But if you enjoyed this, comment below and let me know. I'd love to do more and share with you guys. And let me know what your favorite game is for the Nintendo 64 or your favorite game ever if you're not a Nintendo 64 fan. Thank you for sitting through my commentary, my rants and raves, general randomness. I hope whatever you're doing, wherever you are, you're having fun and you're hopefully in a more relaxed mode because of the holidays. I hope all of you are doing well, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!